It's summertime and I'm back for another installment of Catherine's Crafty Creations. Today we're going to use a direct-to-film hack using a sublimation printer. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to do this. We start with our design in Canva, and we designed it earlier on. And for the sake of this video, we're going to speed up the process. And now we're going to send it to the printer. And I want to show you how to do that first. When you send something to the printer, when you're doing a sublimation hack, the paper isn't standard size. It's a little different. So we're going to send it to the printer, but we're going to go into the print dialog box to make sure that we have everything we need. And we don't want all of them because one of them is the flyer for the business, and the second page is the actual logo for the t-shirt. So we just want pages 2 and 3. Then we're going to go into the dialog box, making sure our size is 8.5 by 11. Although our paper is actually longer than that, it's not a standard size. So we're going to set it for 8.5 by 11 because we're going to put a sheet of 8.5 by 11 behind it. Now we're going to the dialog box, making sure that our printer is selected. We go into the dialog box because we want to make sure there are some other features present when we're doing a sublimation or sublimation hack like this. We want to make sure that the ink quality is good, and we don't want too much ink because if it's too much ink, it'll smudge. And even when it's standard ink, and you're going to see by the end of the video, if we say it's high, normally we do sublimation on high quality, but we're going to change that to a little less quality. It's not more than standard, but less than high. And then we're going to make sure that we go in our box and make sure we manage our options here. We mirror the image, and that's what we're doing now. We're mirroring the image, and then we're going to okay that. We're going to make sure we hit apply, so it will apply. And as you see, I had the range wrong in our pages. I should have said 1 to 2, not 2 to 3, inside the dialog box. Even though it's set that way in Canva, we want to make sure that in the dialog box we only have the all settings, which is all that I have in Canva. Something I learned while doing this video. So you want to only set the range within the area that is in your dialog box to that which is also inside of your Canva. So we have everything straight. We're checking to make sure. We hit the apply button again for the new settings, and then we go out. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to get our paper. Make sure that the matte side is up, and we're going to put that to a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet because the DTF film is longer than 8.5 by 11, but it is not as wide. So what we're going to do is tape that to an 8.5 by 11 sheet on the top, and to keep it from slipping, we're going to also do it on the sides. And we'll do that here using our heat tape, mainly because I couldn't find any other tape, so I'm using my heat tape because it is conveniently right beside me, and that's why I'm using it. I used to have clear heat tape, and I used it all, and I don't feel like spending any more money until I get money in because I am a miser. So I'm going to use the color or the yellow color tape. It does not peel off. It's not old, so the adhesive doesn't bleed onto the color of the adhesive doesn't bleed onto the paper. So now that we have our paper, our film attached to a standard sheet of paper, letter size paper, we're going to put that in our printer. We're using an Echo Tank 15,000, excuse me. So it's Epson 15,000, and we put that in. We go back to the printer settings and click print because we didn't have any paper in there at first, right? So now we go back and we click print, and we're going to go over here to the other side here and watch and make sure we have all of our settings correct, because when I went back over there, I don't think I had my settings like it should have gone. So now I'm going back to the printer and sending it back to the printer to be sure that everything is on the up and up, because the printer is like that. Now that we have our image straight, we're going to go into our more settings, see if everything is straight in there, and it is. Then we make sure we have our paper setting correct. Then we're going to go into our dialog box for our printer to make sure everything is set up correct now, because before we did not have it quite like we needed it. So we go back into our dialog box, we go to our preferences, we make sure that the image is of course mirrored, but before we do that, we make sure that the setting is on the standard setting, just a little bit less than high. And then we also go back into our more options and click on our mirror image. Whenever you go out and back into the print box, make sure you click mirror image because it does not keep that setting. It goes back to, reverts back to default. So now that everything is straight, I got my range straight. I know how to do my 1 to 2 now and not to go out of range. I hit my apply button. I hit my print. And now it's going to take me over to the printer. And this is when the DTF paper comes out, the DTF film. And as you see, my printer can take up to 13 by 11. I'm sorry, 13 by 19. But this is a smaller letter size. And you'll see it is actually on the printer. Now, sometimes you get roller marks when it comes out of these. So when you do, you might get smudges on the side and things like that. Now it's time to add our DTF powder. You're supposed to use gloves with this, but my hands have seen better days, so I just go without. It's not the safest of things, and I've used this, yeah, I probably should actually get some new fresh powder in there. Yeah, there we go. So we get the fresh powder, and we're going to go liberal amounts, a lot of it. We're going to go across the top of the sheet of paper and make sure we cover all the ink. Some people go all over the paper, and I think next time I do this, I'm going to go all over the paper because you want to make sure that these little plastic particles are on every ounce of the ink. And you want to make sure that your ink is wet when you're doing this. You don't want to have too dry of an ink doing this. So you do it, I get it right out of the printer and bring it right over here to my tray. And this is a cake topper tray. This is the kind that you buy at, any grocery store. It goes on top of a aluminum cake pan. So I use this tray to keep my hands from getting dirty, but you'll see it doesn't really work out for me like I want it to. So what I do is I take the paper out of the tray and I slide my powder from side to side. Sometimes this works to get all the ink, but sometimes you don't get all the ink. And then I use a dual tray system here. I take 2 trays, and I use one tray to spread the powder onto another while I place the sheet in the second tray. I do that over and over again to make sure that we have enough powder on all of the ink that is on, the sublimation ink that's on this page. And sublimation ink, as you know, is different, as it does not look as bright when you print it onto the page. It takes the heat to actually cause it to brighten up and be the colors that you actually want it to be. So it's going to look pretty dull right now as we put the plastic on, the plastic particles on, also known as direct-to-film powder. So as we make sure it's covered, we're going to do that as many times as possible. So I do it one more time. And I put it in another tray, put it back in another tray, and I put the powder back on again. Because it's really, really important that the powder covers every piece of ink that is on this paper. So we'll do it again. Picking up the powder and making sure it's covered, all of it. Now, the one thing you may notice that I am smudging ink with my fingers at the top there, which I do not want to do. Now we see the powder has pretty much covered all of the area. And we do have some smudges, and we have some roller marks we can tell from the wet ink going onto the film. And we see roller marks. We can actually scratch those off later. And we can also use a cotton swab to get that off later. There's me making a mess. I should have used a funnel. All right, now we have to cure this. So we set our printer to 395. Our heat press for 395. And this is not one of those HTV ronts that just sits and hovers. This is one of those you're going to have to manually pull it over on top of our film in order to cure the plastic into the ink. So as we wait for that to go, we're going to use our cotton swab and get some of this ink off of there. Now, when it's still wet, it's hard to do. Something we just discovered in this video is that it's difficult to get it off. It also makes matters worse if you keep on doing it. But once it's heated, you can get it off pretty easily once you've cured the plastic onto the ink, onto the paper or film. it's not as hard. You can really just scratch it off with your fingertip. Why use Sublimation DTF hack? Well, one thing, a DTF printer is really expensive. So if you don't have the budget for a DTF printer, you can use the hack. The second thing would be because you want to sublimate on something that's cotton or mostly cotton, and sublimation will wash right out of that. You need something that's mostly polyester, either 55 and up for polyester, half and half polyester cotton, 60-40 polyester to cotton. But you don't want to use anything that's less than 50% in polyester. So if you have something that's cotton that's 50% polyester, excuse me, 50% cotton, then you'll have to use the DTF instead of. And if you don't have a DTF printer, you'll use this method. Now we're going to cure our DTF film under our heat press. I've already started, as you can tell, and you can see some of the colors are not looking like I wanted to. So I will press it and just lean on it, but don't press it all the way down. Okay. Now we press our t-shirt. After we've done the curing, we place it on our t-shirt like we normally do. And we set it down for, should be there for 30 seconds at 380. And it's a little sticky, but it worked. It came off. And we can see the errors in our ways here. We don't have little smudges, but, and it does look good. However, you can see where the roller marks are still present. So next time we know to scratch it off and make it look better. And this has been an experiment in DTF. Thank you for standing here and watching me get this done. We have errors. We'll work on those later. But now we know what not to do, which is to make sure we cure it and get it